Today's video is going to be about the dragon bench, or the horse bench, it's can be referred to. Not everybody is extremely flexible, so this is basically a prop to help, like a yoga type prop, to help you get into your stretches safer, maybe deeper. Just another one of our training tips. And here we are. Welcome to my indoor laboratory. So the dragon bench is a kung fu weapon, and it originated in China, of course. This is slightly modified. We're not as wide on the top, but these were used as seating in restaurants in China. So they were a readily available weapon. Should you be sitting eating your dinner, and I don't know how often this happens, but say you're getting attacked in a restaurant, well, you have a weapon within reach right there, right? Now let's just go over a few ways of adapting the dragon bench for training and improving your stretch, especially if you're having some issues or some stretches that you're not able to do comfortably. This will help you to do them more fully, but in a safe manner. You'll feel supported when you're using the dragon bench for your stretches. Okay, so let's get into that. First thing, these things are pretty intuitive. For example, if you wanted to do just touching your toes, like some people may have a little trouble because of tight hamstrings, reaching down and can't get to the floor, but you want to do some stretching. Now, you also don't want to have your back go out on you if you have back issues of any kind. So this helps you, gives you that comfort that you're not going to slip and fall any further. So just basically, you can bend forward, keep your legs straight. Try to get most of the bend out of your hips. Like you don't want to start bending like this. You're not getting any action. Here you got to get the hips going first, and you can rest your hands here. And if you want to go deeper, well, you can just relax into it, maybe even elbows to the bench. But knowing that nothing's gonna go out on you. Now another way to use the bench is to put it on its side like so. So when you bend forward, again, you want to get the most out of your hip movement here first. Your hamstrings start to stretch. You can set your hands here. Now, as you gain comfort, settle into the stretch, you can slide your hands down the leg, going deeper and deeper until you hit your maximum. In this way, you can actually increase your stretchability safely and comfortably. And again, you can go further and further and further down, take hold, and then eventually, again, touch the floor on your own. And then, you want to come back out of it, you can walk your legs back up. And you can flip it up, help yourself up a little further. Now again, I'm using these in a cautious fashion, right? Obviously, a lot of people don't need to use it, but I use it, and I don't necessarily need it. I like it because I can go in deeper with comfort. Keep your body as flexible as you can, and of course, as strong and healthy and so on. But if you start losing your mobility, your ability to move full range in your joints, basically what's happening in that situation is with time you're becoming more of a prisoner in your own body. Now, this other movement here we're going to do is called triangle pose in yoga. So this is the position here, if you're familiar with it. You reach out, then you're going to go down, tipping down to the floor. However, if you can't get down to the floor, you can use the bench to safely at least get this far. See, now I'm happy, I'm not going to fall, I'm not going to pull a muscle. Now, if I do want to challenge myself further though, I'm going to put the bench on its side, take hold of the leg again, and in this position, I can now safely start working my way down deeper and deeper and deeper into the pose until at some point you may not need it at all. And of course, coming out of a pose is important too, so you don't hurt yourself. And again, if you don't feel the comfort, you can always use the bench to help yourself back out. Now let's have a look at how we can use a dragon bench for some stretching while you're seated on the floor. Now, once again, as what we did is forward bend from the standing position. You can also work yourself touching your toes and whatever you can, your shins, etc. And again, same rules apply. You don't want to just start hunching your back and trying to get down there, and you see your legs can hump up. And try to get as much movement as you can with your back straight to start with. Okay. Now, put the bench up against your feet, and you have these two rungs here, and the legs to use to help yourself along. And remember, you want to keep your back straight as much as possible for as far as possible. So I'll just take hold of these rungs, and now I have a perfect situation where I can use the rungs to pull myself down gently, slowly, with comfort. Now when you're doing this, best to keep your gaze forward. If you start looking down, then your back starts to round, and you don't want that. In any case, as you stretch and you get comfortable into it, you can move to the next rung, getting yourself deeper into the pose, into the stretch. And of course, next step would be to get your hands right around the end of the bench. Let's do this from a different angle. Okay, position one. And again, it's good to pull your feet, toes back because it'll give you an added stretch. Pull, go to the next rung. And then get your hands right around the end and settle in. Now if you can, of course, you'd lay your chest onto your shins. Okay, so now for the next stretch, which would be done pulling one foot in and then reaching over and taking hold of your foot and getting a nice stretch along your side. Now, you can also employ the bench for this. Set it like so. Your foot on the inside. It's good to get a good stretch between your legs, as wide as you can. Now again here, stretching. Now I can grab the rung and help myself go gently deeper into the stretch. And again, if you can, go to the next rung. And then even take your foot. So that's a great way to improve your side bend. Good. Now another stretch that we'll use commonly in warm-ups for martial arts is just doing the splits, right? So doing the splits, you're going to try to get wider and wider and wider. Maybe get your fingers to the floor and deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, some people don't have a great deal of flexibility. I'm not as flexible as I used to be, but we're going to work on it some more. By the way, when you come out of this, you want to wiggle your feet together. Don't try to hop out. And of course, this is where the bench comes in again. You can safely, with confidence and pleasure, start doing the splits with the support of the bench. And also, putting it sideways, you can now go further and further, holding yourself supported. Coming out of it. Now you can use the bench to do this safer and maybe even allow yourself to go a little deeper. So you can stretch into here. You're still going to get a good stretch into your hamstring. Or you can go into the stretch like so. And again, being supported. So you can actually just pull yourself right out of it without getting a groin pull. If you've ever had a groin pull, you know it takes several months to heal, so you don't want that. Now this is referred to as pigeon pose in the yoga. So you put your foot in front, drop down to your shin, and it's called pigeon because when you go up like so, you look a bit like a pigeon. And then you'll let yourself down. Cross your leg there. You can use the bench, depending on how much weight you're capable of putting onto your leg. You can actually support yourself with the bench. Start off higher, go down lower, and then sink right in. And then, of course, come out of it. You can just have a seat. All right, we'll just show you one more today. And this is a modification to what's called the camel pose. And first, we'll show without the prop. You sit straight up and down. You want to keep your thighs straight up and down. You don't want to be like this, bending back. So basically, keep your thighs straight up and down. You're going to reach back onto your heels. Coming out like so. Now, if you don't really have that available to you, again, we'll use our dragon bench, right? So here we go. Now, quite easy to reach the legs. Get yourself comfortable in position, and you can slide down as far as you would like to go. Come back up. Just walk yourself out. So now remember, this is to assist people with their stretching. You may be super flexible, you don't need any of this. But I think if a person's feeling a bit stiff, this kind of equipment can help you keep mobile, keep flexible, and prevent you from becoming a prisoner in your own body. Make it a great day. See you next time.